Welcome to my channel today. Sit close and enjoy our story. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share for more interesting stories. The village of Umuaka slept beneath a golden sun that rose gently over red earth and whispering palms. In the morning, women sang as they fetched water from clay pots, the rhythm of pestles striking mortars echoed like a heartbeat, and the air was thick with the smell of roasted yam and palm oil. It was a place where everyone knew everyone, and stories grew faster than cassava. But in the heart of that village lived a woman whose name carried both pity and quiet admiration: Ngozi, the woman with no child. She was the wife of Abina, a strong hunter whose arrows never missed. Abina loved her dearly, yet as years passed and the cries of children never filled their compound, his love began to carry a shadow of sadness. At night, he would sit by the fire sharpening his machete, pretending not to notice the tears that slipped down Ngozi's face as she stared into the flames. For 9 years, Ngozi's womb was as silent as a sealed drum. She had visited every herbalist from Umuaka to Nini, swallowed bitter roots, rubbed her belly with leaves, prayed in shrines, and wept in churches. Still, no child came. Her mother-in-law, old Mama Iyi-Ugwu, was not gentle. "A tree that does not bear fruit must not shade the land," she would mutter, her eyes sharp as pepper. "Our ancestors cannot be mocked forever." Ngozi never replied. Instead, she cooked with quiet precision, washing her husband's clothes and greeting every neighbor with a tired but sincere smile. The children of others ran around her compound, sometimes mocking, sometimes kind. She gave them roasted groundnuts and sweet palm wine during festivals, but when they left, her laughter died quickly. She often prayed by the fire at night, whispering, "Chineke, if my hands have done evil, forgive me. But if there is mercy left for a woman like me, bless me with one child. Just one. Let me hear laughter in this house before my bones grow cold." And every time, the only answer was the chirp of crickets and the far-off croak of frogs near the stream. One Harmattan morning, when the earth was dry and even the yam leaves looked tired, Ngozi had a dream. In the dream, a voice neither man nor woman called her name 3 times. Ngozi, Ngozi, Ngozi. When she turned, she saw a river shining like melted glass, and a gentle ripple forming the shape of a woman's face. "Come to me," the face said. "Come to the stream that remembers the Barren." Ngozi awoke with sweat glistening on her forehead, though the morning air was cool. Her heart beat fast. She rose quietly, wrapped her Ikafu scarf, and carried a calabash with kola nuts, honey, and a piece of white cloth, gifts of peace and purity. She walked through the sleeping village, her feet sinking softly into the dust. The cock crowed once, twice, thrice. Palm fronds rustled as if the wind itself was watching her. She followed the winding path past the old udu tree, where it was said spirits danced during the new moon, until she reached the stream Iyi-Ugwu, the stream of mysteries. The water shimmered faintly under the first light of dawn. Ngozi knelt by the bank, placed her offerings gently on a flat stone, and spoke from the deepest part of her soul. "Mother of waters, I am Ngozi, daughter of Nwakigo. My womb is dry, my nights are filled with tears. I have done all that a woman can do. If you have ever pitied a mortal, pity me now. Give me a child, and I will sing your name until my last breath." The stream murmured, the reeds swayed, and a gentle mist rose. Then, from within the water, a figure appeared, an old woman, tall and graceful, wearing white like the foam of waves. Her eyes were bright as moonlight. Ngozi trembled. She wanted to run, but her feet refused. The old woman spoke softly, her voice carrying the rhythm of flowing water. "You have cried enough tears to fill a river. But a river does not give without taking. Are you ready to keep your heart clean, to love without envy, to serve even those who scorn you?" Ngozi nodded quickly, tears already on her cheeks. "Yes, mother, I will do all you ask." "Then listen," said the spirit. "For 7 market days, come here before dawn. Wash your hands and feet in this stream, and give food to the poor each day. Speak no angry word, no matter what insult is thrown at you. On the 7th day, you will hear the cry of what you seek." And just as suddenly as she came, the old woman vanished, leaving behind only a ripple that formed the shape of a tiny cradle before fading away. Ngozi did exactly as she was told. Every morning before the cock crowed, she walked to Iyi-Ugwu, washed her hands and feet, and whispered prayers of gratitude. Each day, she gave away food, sometimes a bowl of rice, sometimes yam, sometimes a small fish to a hungry child. Her mother-in-law mocked her. "You now feed others when you cannot feed your own womb." Ngozi only smiled, remembering the spirit's warning. On the 7th morning, when she dipped her hands into the water, the stream began to hum a low, melodious sound that seemed to rise from beneath the earth itself. Then a voice, faint but clear, whispered, "Go home, Ngozi. The stream has remembered you." That night, Ngozi dreamt again. This time, The old woman stood beside her bed, holding a gourd of shining water. She poured it gently over Ngozi's stomach, saying, "The water of life has touched you. Sleep, and let the seed take root." 3 moons later, Ngozi's belly began to swell. The whole village gasped. Women whispered behind their palms. "Is it true? Ngozi is with child." Even Abina stared at her as if afraid to believe. He held her close one evening, his hands trembling. "Ngozi, tell me this is not a dream." "If it is, my husband," she said, smiling through tears, "then let us never wake." The moon waxed and waned. Ngozi's laughter returned, her steps became lighter. The children who once mocked her now brought her mangoes and flowers. Her mother-in-law, seeing the miracle, softened her tongue and began to help with the chores. When the time came, Ngozi labored through a long night. The women of the village surrounded her, singing ancient birth songs. "Life is born, women. Life is born." At dawn, the first cry of a baby pierced the air. Ngozi wept as she held a baby girl with skin smooth as river pebbles and eyes bright like stars. They named her Chimamanda, "My God will not fail." But strange things began to happen from that day. Birds gathered every morning by their hut, singing melodies no one had ever heard. The stream near their home flowed clearer than ever. Even the sick found healing when Ngozi bathed them with its water. Chimamanda grew quickly bright, gentle, and full of curiosity. At just 3 years old, she could hum songs that no one had taught her. When she sang, the leaves seemed to dance, and the air shimmered as though listening. Villagers often found her by the stream, her tiny feet playing in the water. Fish would swim close to her toes, and butterflies gathered on her shoulders. One afternoon, Ngozi followed quietly and heard her daughter whispering, "Mother Stream, thank you for letting me come. I will always sing for you." Ngozi's heart pounded. She wanted to call her child away, but a deep peace filled her instead. She remembered the old woman's warning, "A river does not give without taking." As years passed, Chimamanda's gift became known across the land. She could heal fevers by touching cool water and blessing it. She could calm crying babies with a song. Even animals seemed to obey her voice. But one dry season, a terrible drought struck Umuaka. The skies refused to rain. The yam fields cracked, and the wells ran dry. People wailed. Offerings were made to every shrine, but still the heavens stayed silent. Desperate, the elders gathered. Abina stood before them, clutching his hunting staff. "We must go to Iyi-Ugwu," said the oldest elder. "The stream that gave us life may have the answer." When they reached the stream, it was gone dried to dust. The villagers fell to their knees, crying out in fear. Then little Chimamanda, only 9 years old, stepped forward. "Let me speak to Mother Stream," she said softly. The elders hesitated, but Abina nodded, his eyes glistening with tears. Chimamanda walked to the dry bed, knelt, and placed her hands on the cracked earth. "Mother Stream," she whispered, "your children are thirsty. Have they offended you? If they have, forgive them. I am still here, I still sing your songs." A hush fell, the wind stopped moving. Then, from beneath the ground, came a faint sound, a heartbeat, deep and slow. The earth trembled, and suddenly water burst forth, clear and strong, rushing around Chimamanda's feet. The villagers shouted with joy. Rain poured from the heavens as if released from a long-held breath. Children danced, elders lifted their hands, and Ngozi fell to her knees, weeping into the mud. From that day, people called Chimamanda Nwa Miri, child of the water. Years rolled by. Ngozi grew old, her hair turning silver like the surface of the stream. Chimamanda became a woman wise, beautiful, and kind. She healed the sick, counseled lovers, and sang songs that made even the stubbornest hearts gentle. One evening, as the moon rose full and round, Ngozi sat by Iyi-Ugwu, watching the ripples dance. She heard the familiar hum, that same sound from many years ago. The mist thickened, and from it stepped the old woman again, as radiant as ever. Ngozi bowed low. "Mother Stream, I remember you. And I remember you, Ngozi," said the spirit, smiling. "You kept your promise. You loved, even when scorned. Your faith watered the earth. The child you bore is both of you and of me, born of prayer, shaped by purity. She will guide your people long after you have joined your ancestors." Ngozi wept with gratitude. "Then I have lived enough," she whispered. "Go in peace," said the spirit. "When you sleep, your name will be spoken with blessings." As dawn approached, Abina found Ngozi resting beneath the Ub tree by the stream, a calm smile on her face, the sound of water whispering beside her. She had joined the ancestors gently, peacefully. When Chimamanda learned of her mother's passing, she went to the stream and sang, "Mother Stream, thank you for the life you gave. Mother Ngozi, your faith is the river that never dries." The waters rose and shimmered, and for a moment, 2 figures could be seen dancing in the mist, one old, one young, both radiant. From then on, during every festival, the women of Umuaka gathered by Iyi-Ugwu and sang. Ngozi, mother of faith, you spoke to the stream, and life answered. May every barren heart be filled with hope, as yours was filled with light. Chimamanda became the high priestess of Iyi-Ugwu, guiding the people through seasons of plenty and scarcity alike. And the stream, forever flowing, never dried again. Even to this day, elders in Umuaka say, if your heart is pure and your patience deep, the waters will hear you as they heard Ngozi. And when the wind rustles the palms by Iyi-Ugwu, it is said that the spirit of Ngozi still whispers. Faith is the seed, love is the water, and miracles grow where both meet.